What's going on, boys and girls? All right, man. 2001 Ford Windstar, high pressure power steering hose leaking. Not one single video on YouTube is going to show you how to put the new one on. Okay, not this will be the first video on YouTube to show you how to do it. It's really not that bad of a job, but I'm going to give you guys a few pointers on what I had to do. So anyway, you can see the hose, the new one. Let me get this on. Okay, you guys see the new hose down there? I don't know, right there. Yeah, you can see it. There it is. Okay, that guy right there, that's what you're putting on. Now, to get the old one off, what I did, I took a Dremel that has it's got a wand on it, an extension, where I have a cutting wheel. Okay, because down here, this one down here on the bottom, I didn't want to strip that nut, and there was no way I could get to it unless I put a socket on it. Well, you got a line wrench, but there's no way to really move around down there that well. So all I did was I took this cutter and I cut both of them from the line, and that way I could get a socket on each one. Okay, so you got one up here on the pump right there, that's the new one, and the one down there, I got a socket on each. Also, this big thick line right here, I just took the clamp off and got that out of my way, made it a little bit easier. Now you get the new one on, the new line, get on down there. Okay, you see that sensor? Let me see. Okay, you guys see that sensor right there? Okay, there's a wire that goes to that. You want to put that, take that off the old line, put it on the new line, because them are about 40 bucks, 50 bucks. And you don't even have to plug in the new one because it's not affecting the way this thing drives or anything. It's just whatever, something going to the computer. You can plug it in if you want, but I just tried it without it, and it's not making a difference in how the van runs. So there's no sense in buying a new one. Put the old one back in with the new hose, okay, and you're good to go. Now, you can get down there and start to get that one hand tightened. And once you do, then you can get down there with an 18mm wrench. And once it gets snug, you just give it one more half turn. Don't even over tighten it, because if you do, you're going to strip it out. Okay, these are made to just be snug down both sides. Do not over tighten, because if you do, then you're going to have to take it off and redo it. You might strip the threads. Okay, 20 foot-pounds, 15 to 20. That's all you need on these. Once you get it going, put the new one back on. Right there. Actually, it's pretty simple. Also, they give you a clamp in the back because you're close to an exhaust pipe. So you can either tie it back or tie it around, or basically the hose itself sits back against the firewall, so it's not a real big deal. It's not going to move up against the exhaust on its own. So look back there when you put it all together. As long as it's not touching the exhaust and you're a couple inches away, you're good to go. They have some type of sleeve around the hose that protects it from the heat, so you're good there. Okay, and as you can see, I got snow all over this thing. I had to let it sit for a couple days. I had to wait for the part. I ordered the part on eBay. They're a lot cheaper, $33 free shipping. So if you got time to wait, just get it on eBay. Also, O-rings. Okay, you got 3 different connectors on your new hose. You got this one requires an O-ring, this one don't, and I got that. So when you put the new hose on, you don't need O-rings on either side. Some of the older models you do. This particular one you don't. So no O-rings, and then once you refill the reservoir, it's a little bit dirty right there. Okay, then you got to turn your wheel back and forth to get the air out of the system. Make sure you don't have any leaks. If you do, say you put that hose on down there and you had a little bit of a leak, then just get down there and just give it a little bit more of a snug, not much, and that should stop the leak. Once you got that, man, you're good to go. Also, to get to that point down there, you got to take off this shroud. Okay, you guys see this? It takes 5 minutes for all of you who have these kind of vans. It takes about 5 minutes to take off that shroud on the front, so you got all the room you need back there to get down there and get it. Anything else I'm missing? Like I say, it's not a bad job, but if you had to take it into a shop, they'd probably charge you $600, $700, $800, you know, because I mean, you got to get way down there on that rack and pinion steering. Also, like I say, when you put that hose on down there, get it started by hand. You got plenty of room to get down there with your arm and get a flashlight. Get it started by hand, then get down there with an 18mm and just start tweaking it back and forth till you get it tight and snug. And that's it, man. You're good to go. So I've already tested this out. No leaks. Works fine. So I'm going to go ahead and reassemble this. Like I say, man, it takes about 5 minutes to put that back up. Got 10-15 screws and it pops right off. And that's it, guys. Alright, but this will be the first video on YouTube showing these. Yeah, I couldn't find one. I was just trying to get a few pointers. But again, I ended up cutting those just to get a socket on there, because you don't want to strip it down there. If you do, you're going to be in trouble, because it's very hard to get to just to get it out. Once you get it out, it's a lot easier to get the new one back in. But again, take one of these grinders, little cutoff wheel, and it's got a flex cord on it, and I can reach down 2-3 feet, and there's another hose down there right next to the one you're cutting. Be careful that you don't cut that. Basically, I cut halfway through, and then I just started taking the hose and moving it back and forth, and I snapped it off. This guy here. So you snap those off, and then you just get the hose up out of there. Again, the old hose has a clamp back there, but I wouldn't worry about that. As long as you're away from the exhaust, you're not going to have a problem. Alright, man. Any questions down below from anybody, let me know. So, take care. God bless.